The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth as I trudged deeper into Blackwood Forest, my boots crunching against the carpet of fallen leaves. It was supposed to be a solo hike, a chance to clear my head after a brutal week at work. My name is Alex, and I'd chosen this trail because it was remote too far from town for casual day trippers. Just me, my backpack, and the silence. Or so I thought. I'd been feeling trapped in Seattle, where my job as a graphic designer chained me to deadlines and fluorescent lights. Blackwood Forest, nestled deep in the Cascades, promised solitude. I'd read about its untouched trails online, sprawling across hundreds of acres with no cell service to interrupt the peace. I parked my Subaru at the trailhead around noon, the gravel lot empty except for a faded sign warning of bears and the need to stay on marked paths. I checked my gear: tent, sleeping bag, water filter, energy bars, and a pocket knife from my dad, more keepsake than weapon. The trail started wide, sunlight streaming through the canopy in golden patches. Birds chirped and a breeze rustled the leaves, making me feel alive for the first time in weeks. For hours I hiked, following the red blazes painted on tree trunks, my steps steady and sure. But as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows that twisted the trees into skeletal shapes, a faint unease crept in. I checked my watch, 4:37 p.m. My phone had no signal, but I wasn't worried. I had enough supplies for the overnight loop, and my map was tucked in my pocket. The forest was quiet now, the bird song fading, replaced by the creak of branches in the wind. Then I heard it, a snap, sharp and deliberate somewhere behind me. I froze, my breath catching in my throat. The forest was never truly silent. Squirrels skittered, leaves rustled. But this was different. It was heavy, like a boot crushing dry twigs. I turned slowly, scanning the dense wall of trees. Nothing. Just endless green and brown, swaying in the late afternoon breeze. My heart quickened, but I told myself it was a deer, maybe a bear. Blackwood had both, though sightings were rare. I adjusted my pack and kept moving, my pace faster now. The trail curved uphill, my thighs burning as I climbed. Another snap. Closer this time, maybe 20 yards back. My pulse thudded, a cold prickle creeping up my neck. I stopped, listening hard. The wind carried a faint whistle, almost human, but too low to be sure. Was it the breeze through the pines or something else? I squinted into the underbrush, my hand tightening around the pocket knife clipped to my belt. "Hello?" I called, my voice thin, betraying my nerves. No answer. Just the wind and the groan of ancient trees. I shook my head, trying to laugh it off. I was spooking myself, letting my imagination run wild. I'd watched too many true crime videos before this trip. Hikers vanishing, their cars left abandoned, search parties finding nothing. Blackwood was safe, the forums said. No recent incidents. I forced my legs to move, focusing on the red blazes, though they were harder to spot in the fading light. The sky turned a bruised purple by 15, and I knew I needed to set up camp soon. I found a small clearing off the trail, a flat patch of ground perfect for my tent. As I unrolled the nylon and hammered in stakes, the unease lingered, a weight in my chest. Every few minutes I paused, listening for that snap again. Nothing. Just the forest, doing its thing. But the silence felt heavier now, oppressive. I built a small fire, more for comfort than warmth, and sat cross-legged, eating a granola bar as the flames crackled. The firelight danced on the trees, casting shadows that seemed to move on their own. I tried to journal, to ground myself, but my pen froze over the page. That's when I saw it, a glint, brief and sharp in the trees across the clearing. My breath hitched. It wasn't an animal's eyes, it was too precise, like light catching on glass. Binoculars? A camera lens? My pulse raced as I stood, gripping my knife. "Who's there?" I shouted, my voice echoing off the trees. Silence. The fire popped, sending sparks into the air. I grabbed my flashlight, its beam darting between trunks. Nothing. No movement, no sound. But I felt it, eyes on me, heavy and unblinking. My skin crawled, every instinct screaming that I wasn't alone. I thought of those documentaries, a woman stalked in the Rockies, her last journal entry, someone's watching. I doused the fire early, not wanting to be a beacon. Crawling into my tent, I zipped it tight, knife in hand. Sleep was impossible. I sat up all night, clutching the knife, jumping at every rustle. Was it the wind? Or footsteps? My mind replayed the snap, the glint, over and over. By dawn I was exhausted, my nerves frayed to threads. The first light filtered through the trees, gray and misty. I packed up quickly, eager to finish the loop and get back to my car. The trail stretched on, the morning mist clinging to the ground, making the forest feel small, claustrophobic. I kept glancing over my shoulder, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. My ankle was sore from yesterday's climb, but I pushed through. Around noon, the mist lifted, and I stopped to eat an apple. That's when I found it. A scrap of red fabric caught on a thorn bush beside the trail. It wasn't mine. I hadn't worn anything red. I crouched, examining it. The material was torn, frayed, like it had been ripped off in a hurry. It was synthetic, like a hiking shirt, but fresh, not weathered by rain or sun. My stomach twisted. Another hiker? But the Park Service said this trail was rarely used this season. I left it there, my hands shaking as I stood. I moved faster now, almost jogging, the trail blurring beneath my feet. My pack jostled, straps digging into my shoulders. The snaps started again. Not loud, but steady, like someone keeping pace, just out of sight, parallel to the trail, matching my steps. I spun around, shouting, "I know you're there! Leave me alone!" My voice cracked, swallowed by the trees. No response, but the snaps stopped. For a moment, I thought I'd scared them off. I exhaled, wiping sweat from my brow. Then I saw the footprint. In a patch of mud, clear as day, a heavy boot print, larger than mine, with deep treads. Size 12 maybe, compared to my 9. It pointed in my direction, the edges sharp, fresh. Panic clawed at me. This wasn't imagination. Someone was here, following me. Why? I ran, my pack bouncing painfully against my spine. The trail twisted, and I stumbled over roots, my breath ragged. Branches whipped my face, drawing thin lines of blood. I didn't know where I was going anymore, just that I needed to move. The forest seemed to close in, branches snagging at my arms like hands. Another snap, closer now to my left. I veered right off the trail, crashing through the underbrush. Bad move. The ground was uneven, hidden by ferns. Thorns tore at my pants, slowing me down. The snaps followed, relentless. I assumed it was a he from the print's size, was gaining. I heard heavier breathing, or was it mine? The ground sloped sharply, and I tripped, tumbling down a ravine. I rolled, dirt and leaves in my mouth, body slamming against rocks. I hit the bottom hard, my ankle twisting under me. Pain shot through my leg, white hot. I bit back a cry, scrambling behind a fallen log. My heart pounded so loud I was sure he'd hear it. I held my breath, listening. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, crunched above me. Not on the trail. Closer, in the brush. He was searching. I peeked over the log, just enough to see a shadow moving through the trees. Tall, broad-shouldered, in dark clothes, a black jacket, hood up. No face, but his movements were deliberate, predatory. He stopped, head tilting like he was listening, sniffing the air or straining for sound. I ducked down, hands trembling as I gripped the knife. Please, go away, I thought. The footsteps started again, moving away. Crunch, crunch, fading. I counted seconds, then minutes. 10, 20. When I couldn't hear him, I crawled out, wincing as I tested my ankle. Sprained, not broken, but swollen. Every step was agony. I had to get back to the trail, to my car, to safety. I climbed the ravine, using roots as handholds, dirt crumbling under my fingers. My nails broke, but I reached the path. The red blazes were faint, nearly invisible in the dim light. The sun was low again, shadows stretching. The forest was quieter now, too quiet. No birds, no wind, just my labored breathing and the thud of my pulse. I limped along, checking my map. 2 miles to the trailhead maybe. I could make it if I pushed through the pain. I found a stick, using it as a crutch. But then I saw it, another footprint, identical to the first in the dirt on the trail. My blood ran cold. He was ahead of me now. How? He'd circled around while I was in the ravine. He knew the terrain better than I did. This wasn't random, he was hunting me. I couldn't stay on the path, too exposed. I cut into the woods again, parallel to the trail, staying low. Thorns tore at my hands, drawing blood, but I didn't care. I just needed to keep moving. The forest felt endless, a maze of shadows and silence. Trees blurred, identical in their menace. My ankle throbbed, my pack heavier with every step. Sweat soaked my shirt, mixing with dirt. I was losing time, losing light. Twilight settled, the sky a deep indigo. Then I heard the whistle. Low, melodic, almost playful. Oh, Susanna, warped into something sinister. It came from behind, maybe 50 yards. My skin crawled. He was taunting me, letting me know he was close. I crouched behind a tree, knife slick with sweat. The whistle stopped, replaced by crunching leaves. Closer. 10 yards. 5. I held my breath, pressing against the bark. A shadow passed, just beyond the tree line. I smelled him, sweat, earth, something metallic. Blood? I couldn't see his face, but I saw the glint again, metal in his hand.
A blade?
A gun? It flashed in the dim light. He paused, as if sensing me. My heart stopped. Then he moved on. Footsteps faded. I waited, frozen, until silence returned. Then I bolted. My ankle screamed, but adrenaline pushed me. I crashed through bushes, ignoring the pain, directionless, just away from him. The forest fought back. Roots tripped me, branches slapped. I stumbled onto the trail, recognizing a crooked oak from yesterday. Its gnarled trunk was a beacon. The trailhead was close. 1/2 mile. I saw the gravel lot through the trees, my car glinting in the fading sun. Hope surged. I was almost there. Limping faster, I pushed forward. But he was faster. I heard him before I saw him, a rush of movement, branches snapping like gunfire. To my right, bursting from the undergrowth. I turned as he lunged, face hidden under a hood. Dark eyes gleamed, wild, intent. He was big, muscles straining under his jacket. I screamed, swinging my knife wildly. It caught something, fabric, maybe skin. He grunted, stumbling back. A red line appeared on his arm, blood welling. He clutched it, cursing low. I didn't wait. I ran, ankle buckling with every step, to the car. The lot was empty, no help. My hands shook, keys slipping from my fingers, dropping in the dirt. They skittered under the car. I dropped to my knees, reaching, scraping gravel. Got them. I unlocked the door, threw myself inside, slammed the lock. Breath ragged, tears blurring my vision. I glanced in the rearview mirror. He was there, at the lot's edge, standing, watching. No face, just the hood and the glint of metal. He raised it slightly, like a salute, then turned, melting into the trees. I turned the key, engine roaring, and peeled out, gravel spraying. Dust clouded the mirror. I didn't look back. I drove 20 miles to the ranger station, a small building with lights glowing. I burst in, limping, babbling about the man. Ranger Tom, grizzled with a bushy beard, looked up. He offered a chair, water, his eyes kind but skeptical. I spilled everything, the snaps, Glint, Chase. He listened, face unreadable, then called the sheriff. A deputy arrived, taking my statement. They searched Blackwood for 2 days. Drones, dogs, volunteers. They found my campsite, the red fabric, the footprints. A drop of blood near the trailhead tested later inconclusive. No man. No trace. The sheriff, a stern woman with short hair, said it was probably a drifter. Someone passing through, maybe high. They'd patrol more, she said, but I saw the doubt in her eyes. A hiker's tale, amplified by fear. I knew better. He wasn't a drifter. He moved like he owned the woods. That whistle haunted me. I moved after that, left my small town for Portland, where lights never dim. New apartment, new job. But the memories followed. I don't hike anymore. Parks make me jumpy. I don't trust silence. Late at night, I think I hear that whistle, low, melodic, outside my window. I check locks, curtains, keep my knife close. I installed cameras, alarms, but deep down I know. The police never found him. He's still out there, waiting. 6 months later, a package arrived. No return address. Inside, a red fabric scrap, identical to the one in the woods. A note. Missed you. Handwritten, block letters. I called the police. No prints, postmarked near Blackwood. He'd found me. How? I joined survivor forums, read similar stories. Stalkers who never stopped. One night, on a true crime subreddit, I saw a post about Blackwood. 5 hikers missing over a decade. All solo. Comments mentioned a hooded man whistling. My heart stopped. I messaged the poster. No reply. I hired a PI, Ruiz, a retired cop. He dug into Blackwood's past. Loggers vanished in the 1800s. A cult in the 70s, rituals in clearings. Recent sightings of a recluse, hooded. No name, no face. Ruiz refused to search the woods. Too dangerous, he said. You got lucky. Lucky. I started therapy, diagnosed with PTSD. Hypervigilance, they called it. But how do you heal when the threat's real? A year later, I moved to Chicago. Changed my name. But the whistle follows in dreams. One night, walking home, I heard it. Low, melodic, in an alley. I ran, bolted my door. Called Ruiz. He flew out, set up cameras. Weeks later, a 3 a.m. alert. Feed showed a hooded figure at my door. Whistling. Tattoo on his hand, thorn circle, like the cult's. Police found nothing. Ruiz found records. The cult never died. Underground, hunting loners. Was I chosen? I'm armed now, gun, training. I won't run forever. I'll go back to Blackwood. Face him. End it. He's still out there. But so am I.